Hi, I'm Beth Comstock and I'm in Brooklyn, New York. Today we're at the new lab in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. So I had the chance to sit down with Maddy Maxey, who is the founder of Loomia, a new company that's at the intersection of electronics and textiles. Yep, that's right, electronics and textiles. Why don't you tell us who you are and what's your story?
My name is Maddy Maxey. My story really started off with a love for making things, whether that's making clothing or building with Lego sets, whatever it may be. And as I continued on in my career, I realized that there's a lot to do at the intersection of industries because so much of it is unexplored, and there aren't always guidebooks for how you do some of these things. So with Loomia, I started working on building prototypes for companies that would put together electronics and textiles, or kind of things that wouldn't normally fit.
Who would put those two together? You did. How did you come to think those two belong together?
I've always loved clothing. I think that it's a very functional thing that often gets a very fashion reputation, but at the end of the day, to live in America, you need money for food, shelter, and clothing. You can't not have it. And so I think that there's a lot of interesting things we can do to make our clothing actually keep us warm, actually keep us comfortable, especially for the elderly or disabled, actually serve their needs in ways that clothing isn't always built for. So that was a lot of seeing what electronics can do and how it can be smart and think and help our lives be better. I wanted to be able to put that into clothing because it's something that is near and dear to us, and I think it could be a lot smarter.
So now it's a company. So how do you go from, I have this idea, to now you've started a company and you're prototyping products? How does that happen?
For me, getting it from idea to a company is just really about taking step after step forward and keeping that vision or that goal in mind.
How do you deal with when it's really hard? I mean, there's got to be those times when you have this vision but you just can't make it happen. How do you keep going? What keeps you pushing forward?
I mean, I really love this industry and this space, and I think that the biggest motivation is knowing that there are problems to solve. And so when it gets hard, I'm like, great, we're on to something good. Like if there was no part that was challenging, then nobody needs me. There's nothing, there's nothing for us to be doing if nothing's hard. So I think it's actually finding pleasure in the hard parts because that's where the good stuff is, and you kind of have to dig in. And also knowing that's where you learn. So when it gets hard, we sit together, we build together, we look at the code, we see what's going on, and then we all learn to be better at building things. So it's motivating that way.
So we're talking a lot about the future. Where is the future with Loomia? You're at this intersection of electronics and textiles. Paint the future of where you see Loomia taking us.
Yeah, at the end of the day, a lot of what we want to do is build this really strong foundation instead of enabling technologies, so that ideally, I always say the goal is that my mom can buy something that I've made. Ideally, my mom can go to the store, see one of her favorite brands, and maybe buy a heating jacket from that brand. And being that intelligence inside is something that we're excited about, or something where my grandmother who has dementia can have a shirt that tracks her, helps keep her safe, and think of it as an everyday shirt and be comfortable and it be affordable for her. So that's the kind of future that we're working towards, where the infrastructure for electronic textiles is strong enough that it can help a lot of different people and they can be seen as clothing, not just smart textiles, smart fabrics sort of products.
I love that we're talking about the future and amazing new technology, yet you bring it back to a person and a need. You brought it back to your mother, your grandmother. Does that help you think through your products?
Yeah, it's been a process to get there, because at first I was very invested in the technology. I was like, I don't care what it's used for, I just want to build it. But I think that to really have an impact or to be able to connect with others around what we're doing, you have to be able to paint that use case. So, you think about it and it does come back, and it is very motivating to think about who might be able to use it and bring it out. So I've kind of learned to see it that way, and I think that makes for better products.
Yeah. So Maddy, we're looking at some things that you've prototyped here. Can you tell us what they are? One, they look cool.
Yeah, so we're working on heating a lot right now because it's very clear why it's useful. It helps people be comfortable. So these are prototypes of a heating shoe that we're working on, something similar to this. So it's just meant to be normal looking, which is often the goal.
Such a great idea. So the idea is it would heat while you're wearing it.
Exactly, and we'll turn it on so you can see that it's topping up to 190 at the hottest spots. Our goal is really thermal comfort, so it should respond. It will respond to the shoe's internal environment and then heat you when you need it, which it's good for us as consumers, but can also be good for cold weather construction workers or for people who have a hard time with thermal regulation as it is.
When you say to people that you're an entrepreneur, and how do you define what an entrepreneur is?
Oh yeah, I mean, I honestly don't say it very often.
You don't? Okay. How do you describe what you do? How do you describe what you are?
Yeah. I mean, I use creative technologist a lot.
That's a great one, creative technologist. So yeah, creative technologist. I love that. I think it's a great definition. Well, Maddy, thank you and congratulations. Good luck with Loomia. Can't wait to put these on my feet someday.
Absolutely. We'll send you a pair when that happens.
I look forward to it. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.